Found these new thongs.
You know I love it when the music's loud, but come on, strip that down for me.
Tonight, I'm tearing these out with my teeth like an old school cartoon billy goat.
Fast and the Furious is completely unrealistic. It's not a documentary, I get that.
The movie starts with Lisa, Mitchell, and Hunter sending off their daughters for their first day in school. Noticing that their daughters immediately became friends, the three parents decide to be friends too. While their daughters grow up into teenagers, the three parents continue their friendship and share memorable moments along the way. For some reason, you can't really see Mitchell on the screen. In the present, Lisa and her daughter Julie engage in morning conversation over breakfast, focusing on Julie's forthcoming prom and her transition to college. Lisa comforts her daughter, assuring her of her resilience during Julie's collegiate journey. Post-breakfast, Julie sets off for school. Simultaneously, Mitchell discovers a piece of provocative lingerie while doing laundry and mistakenly attempts to incorporate it into a flirtatious gesture with his wife, Marcy. The mood shifts abruptly when Marcy informs him the lingerie is their daughter's, prompting a surprised and unsettled Mitchell to reject the garment. He proposes discussing appropriate attire with their daughter, a notion Marcy seems hesitant to entertain. Mitchell backs off and starts folding his daughter's pants only to see a cigarette, but in its pocket. Mitchell goes to Kayla's room to confront her about the cigarette, but there, Mitchell finds a vibrating device and immediately assumes it's a vibrator. Kayla sees her father and takes the device from him. It turns out to be part of her toothbrush. He tries to confront her about smoking, but fails because of his daughter's solid argument skills. Later at school, Julie tells Kayla and Sam that she plans to have sex with her boyfriend on prom night. She believes prom night will be the perfect time to lose her virginity. Feeling a bit envious, Kayla decides she'll do it too, while Sam feels that she's not really ready for it. Julie comes home later and finds an acceptance letter from UCLA in their mail. Meanwhile, Sam gets a call from Hunter, but she ignores her father. She then goes downstairs where her mom, Brenda, and stepfather, Frank, are waiting to get a photo of her prom attire. Meanwhile, Lisa tries fixing a cake with the photo of the three girls when Julie comes down wearing her prom dress. Julie then tries to talk about UCLA, but her mother says nothing positive about it. While that happens, Mitchell and Marcy wait for Kayla to come down with her prom dress. The two parents admire their daughter, and Mitchell starts getting emotional. They then leave and go to Lisa's house for a pre-prom gathering. Upon his arrival, Mitchell confronts Lisa about her lack of response to his calls, suggesting she might be avoiding him. In a different part of the house, Julie steps out of her room, accidentally leaving her laptop open with a group chat visible. Subsequently, Julie and Kayla discuss their prom night intentions, making Sam feel excluded. Deciding to be part of the evening's events, Sam commits to joining in on the prom night activities. During this time, Hunter arrives in a limousine, much to Sam's annoyance. When she questions his presence, Hunter, brimming with paternal excitement, expresses his desire to be there for a significant evening in his daughter's life. Seeking to distance herself from her father's attentions, Sam advises him to mingle with the other parents and behave inconspicuously. Meanwhile, Mitchell, feeling uneasy, inquires if Lisa extended an invitation to Hunter for the pre-prom gathering, or that Hunter frequently asks him to play darts, an invitation he routinely ignores. As the parents congregate, they engage in a brief catch-up. During the conversation, Mitchell spots Kayla with Connor and opts to intervene. Kayla introduces Connor to Mitchell, who seems disinterested, and after Connor departs, Mitchell imparts a bizarre lesson to Kayla on self-defense using a knife. Concurrently, Lisa and Hunter discuss Chad, Sam's prom date. When Frank and Brenda join them, the encounter turns awkward, prompting Lisa to tactfully exit, leaving Hunter to handle the situation. Amid their quarrel, Frank attempts to mediate between the ex-couple, but Hunter, exasperated with Brenda, exits abruptly. Shortly after, Lisa discovers a letter from UCLA in Julie's room, feeling heartbroken that her daughter hadn't shared the news. Meanwhile, the young group, along with their dates, gear up to depart for prom in Hunter's limousine. The three parents start reading the group chat of their daughters. Since they use emojis to talk with each other, the three parents try deciphering the messages. Eventually, they learn that their daughters have a sex pact and plan to lose their virginity on prom night. Lisa and Mitchell panic after the revelation. They start calling their daughters, but get no answer. While the two freak out, Hunter tries to calm them down. Unwilling to accept what's happening, Lisa and Mitchell decide to stop their daughter's plan, and Hunter tries to stop them. Hunter fails to stop the two frantic parents, so he tags along instead. On the way to the dance, Mitchell tells Hunter that his daughter is in on the sex pact too. Hunter isn't worried at all because he knows Sam is a lesbian. At prom, the teenagers enjoy the party together. Sam talks to a girl she likes. Julie dances with Austin, and Kayla tells Connor that she plans to have sex with him that night. Moments later, the three parents arrive at the prom venue. Hunter sees Kayla and Julie leaving and decides to keep quiet about it. Mitchell and Lisa look for their daughters while Hunter grabs Punch and relaxes. Shortly thereafter, Hunter observes Sam and Chad in a kiss and attempts to approach them. However, during his approach, he's unexpectedly struck in the face and knocked to the floor by an errant breakdancer. Following this mishap, the parents gather, having been unsuccessful in their quest to locate their daughters. Hunter shares his recent observations and expresses his frustrations. Together, they resolve to check Austin's house, hoping to find their daughters there. The three parents arrive at Austin's house and find nobody answering the doorbell. Hunter decides to peek at a nearby window and tells Lisa not to look. Lisa ignored his warning and saw two people having sex. The woman has a red dress, so she assumes it's Julie and Austin. A few seconds later, they find out that it was Austin's parents having sex, and so Lisa is relieved. The three continue to watch the couple, and sometime later Mitchell locks eyes with Ron as he finishes. Awkward. The three panic and try to hide after that, but get caught by Austin's parents. They learn that their children are in Killer's lake house. They try to ask for the address of the lake house, but Kathy denies their request. Mitchell then apologizes for interrupting the couple's intimate time and drags Lisa and Hunter away. As they leave, Mitchell reveals that his wife Marcy knows where the lake house is. At Mitchell's house, the three parents search Marcy's stuff in hopes of finding the lake house address. Mitchell then says to lower their voices to avoid letting Marcy notice them. Immediately after that, Marcy shows up and gets angry at Mitchell for intervening with their daughter's sex life. Lisa concocts a plan to divert Marcy's attention, allowing Mitchell to search for the address by engaging Marcy in a heated debate on gender equality. With the address secured, they hastily depart, leaving Marcy behind. Meanwhile, at the lake house, the three daughters are deep into their revelries, indulging in alcohol, substances, and advancing their pact. When their parents arrive, they attempt to meld into the partying throng but are halted by Kyler, who bars them from entering the lake house. In a bid to gain entry, the parents negotiate with Kyler, resulting in an unconventional resolution. Mitchell must outdrink Kyler in a beer-chugging showdown. While confident about his beer-drinking abilities, Mitchell is about to get a surprise. It turns out that what Kyler had in mind was a butt-chugging contest. Mitchell wants to back out, but after learning about Connor and his drugs, he decides to take the challenge to save his daughter. Mitchell and Kyler take their pants down and prepare for the chugging contest. What Mitchell doesn't realize is that Kyler isn't playing fair. While he gets a tube inserted in his back door, Kyler only pretends to do so. The chugging begins, and the crowd around them starts cheering. Meanwhile, Kayla opens a window and sees her father. She closes the window and brushes it off as an effect of the drugs that she's consumed. Moments later, the police arrive, and everyone tries to run away. Mitchell is startled, causing the beer from the tube to backfire and spray all over Hunter's face. Beer with a hint of chocolate. The three rush to leave the place, and so do their daughters. During that time, the parents find the limousine of their daughters and start chasing it. The limousine driver notices the parents' car following behind, so he starts speeding up. As events unfold, Sam's drunken state and the limo's swift movements lead to her nausea, culminating in her vomiting, which sets off a chain reaction of sickness among the occupants. In a parallel chase, Hunter persuades Lisa to adopt a high-speed, daring approach to catch up with their daughter's limousine. In a chaotic turn, Sam, emerging through the limo's sunroof to vomit again, inadvertently targets the pursuing parents' car with her misfortune, causing Lisa to lose control and crash. Shaken but determined, the three parents, after extricating themselves from the wreckage, deliberate on their next course of action amidst the night's unexpected turmoil. After a while, Julie calls, and Lisa confronts her about their sex pact and UCLA. The two argue, and Julie ends the call after saying she wants to get away from her mother. The three parents end up arguing about how they treat each other as friends. While Hunter vents out his frustrations, Lisa ignores him as she gets an idea. She plans to go to Austin's house, get his phone, and find out where the daughters are. They decide to flip their crashed car, but it explodes right on cue. Hunter calls a friend for a ride, and they arrive back at Austin's house. Once there, they decide that Mitchell will sneak inside to get the phone. Mitchell hesitates at first, but gets convinced to do it eventually. Mitchell enters the house and immediately finds a naked Ron. It turns out that Austin's parents are trying to look for each other. While naked and blindfolded, Mitchell tries getting away from them, and Hunter enters the house to help. Unfortunately, the two get caught in the couple's game. While Mitchell and Hunter play the grabbing game, Lisa enters the house to grab Austin's phone. Following a rather awkward and confrontational incident, the trio of parents departs from the house. They quickly check a phone to ascertain the whereabouts of their daughters and immediately set off to find them. Meanwhile, the group of teenagers reaches their hotel destination, ready to dive into the festivities of the after-prom party. Kayla helps Austin get Julie back into a romantic mood. Meanwhile, the parents arrive at the hotel and start looking for their daughters. Lisa finds Kayla getting out of Julie's hotel room and enters it. Inside, she sees Kayla's effort to prepare the room for Julie and gets touched by it. Lisa rethinks her decision to intervene in Julie's personal matters. While preparing to exit, she's surprised by Julie and Austin's sudden entrance into the room, which forces her to quickly hide under the bed. In a different part of the hotel, Mitchell is determinedly checking rooms to locate Kayla, not hesitating to kick open any door that stands in his way. At the same time, Sam, despite being in a potentially intimate moment with Chad, decides to step back, recognizing a lack of genuine connection. Meanwhile, Kayla, in a room with Connor, opts for a less intimate interaction, adjusting her initial expectations for the night. Moments later, Mitchell arrives and throws Connor at the wall. Connor leaves the room, and Kayla learns her dad followed her all night. They both sit down and have a heartfelt talk. After talking a while, the father and daughter reconcile, and Mitchell gets emotional again. Meanwhile, Julie and Austin start dancing and Lisa finds an opportunity to sneak out of the room. Before leaving the room, she sees Julie happy and finally accepts that she's grown up. While that happens, Hunter enters Sam's hotel room and finds her alone. She then confronts him about his failures as her father. The two sit down and Hunter asks for his daughter's forgiveness. Sam then reveals that she's a lesbian, and Hunter accepts her confession. They reconcile as well and happily take a picture together. Hunter leaves Sam and joins Mitchell at the hotel's bar. Shortly after that, Lisa arrives and joins them as well. The three parents talk about their daughters and how proud they are of their growth. The parents choose to dedicate the remainder of the evening to drinking and reveling in their rekindled camaraderie. Simultaneously, their daughters reflect on their own experiences of the night, choosing to continue their celebration, reinforcing their friendship. 3 months down the line, the parents bid farewell to their daughters as they embark on a road trip. In an unexpected twist, Lisa finds herself inadvertently added to their daughter's group chat, where she stumbles upon conversations about drugs, sparking a new wave of concern among the parents. It turns out that it was just a prank by their daughters, so they just laughed it off. The movie ends with Mitchell and Marcy imitating the romantic play that Austin's parents did. They try to find each other, while naked and blindfolded. Moments later, Kayla arrives at home and sees both her parents naked. They all scream as they lock eyes with each other.